Ted, right, let's talk about a really interesting company, Pinterest. There's been a lot of talk about this in the media. People are saying, will they become the next Facebook? You know, they've added another 120 million users recently. I think they've reached now 1 billion users. Let's talk about the finances. I really want to hear about that. What have you found out?
Well, you remember we did the analysis of Facebook recently, Moeed, and
Yeah,
it's good to see you again. Um, so if we look at Pinterest, um, and here comes the finances. Very quickly, the first thing we see from Pinterest, and let me get my annotation up, is that unlike Facebook, these guys are making a loss. So here
right.
are the results from the last 3 years. And in 2019, you'll notice they made a loss of $1.4 billion.
Whoa.
So if you remember, Facebook generating lots and lots of cash, trading on a P ratio of about just over 20 times earnings. It's a 40% net margin. These guys are making a loss. What's driving the loss looks to me like this line up here. So lots of research and development going on, and you'll see that this, I don't know, it's a 1.3 billion in 2019. I don't know exactly what that relates to, but that they're making a decent, a reasonable gross profit margin, 73%. But they are operating at a loss at the moment, and that's this line here, even the loss from the operations because of their R&D.
Right, that's a hefty one.
It is. Now, if we look at their balance sheet, what we do notice on their balance sheet is that they've actually got lots of cash. So these two numbers up here, you'll notice they've got lots and lots of cash, which means their current assets is very high.
Right.
So these guys have got their current assets is very high. They've got lots and lots of cash sitting on that balance sheet, and that's allowing them to run at a loss, and they're not going to run out of cash soon. Okay, so they've got plenty of time in order to sort their business model out, make some money, start generating cash, start making a profit. But they may be tagged as the next Facebook in the media, but they're certainly not looking like the next Facebook in terms of their financials.
That's interesting because the share prices has risen a huge amount just in the space of the last few months.
Well, you're absolutely right. The share price is going up. Let's have a look at that share price. So here is the share price from today. We'll notice down the bottom, we see the market cap is $54 billion. The net asset value, so the numbers we were just looking at here, so
Yeah.
this is the net assets less the liabilities, which is the shareholders' equity. That's this bit down here. And you'll notice that the equity, the net assets of this company is 2.2 billion. So again, we notice here that they've raised lots of money and they are making losses with that money. So at some point, they've got to start making money. They've got to start returning that investment to the shareholders.
Yeah.
So they're sitting on lots of cash. That's absolutely not a problem. So cash, in terms of, that they can pay their bills, they're not going to go bust very soon. But what this does tell us is that, first of all, the P ratio and the yield is irrelevant. That's these two numbers here. That's this number down here because there are no earnings. So price to earnings is irrelevant. The market cap is here. Okay, so that's the number we put in here. That's from their net asset value. So in effect, you're paying about 52 billion more than the company is worth in terms of its breakup value. Obviously, you're paying for the future potential, but this company it's all jam tomorrow. There's no jam today at the moment.
Well, another possibly expensive tech company.
Another very possibly very toppy tech company. A lot of talk in the media. What is it now? We're towards the end of February. 2021. A lot of comment in the media about toppy companies, very, very expensive, very frothy. Is it the last hurrah of the tech market? Is there going to be a cyclical move out into the value stocks at the moment? Who knows? But if I was holding Pinterest, I would certainly set my my stop losses pretty close, and I'd want to be dancing close to the exit on this one. That's my opinion, not my advice, Moeed. As we always give that caveat.
Yeah. So interesting, right? So if anyone's selling to this company, then I would assume if you can help them make more sales and increase the annual revenue per user. Can't remember what it is now. I think it's just over $1. Then they're going to be very interested in working with you if you can prove that. So very interesting
Absolutely.
To see on Pinterest there. It looks like another possibly expensive business, but the finances have helped us really understand a bit more about this company and its valuation.